Okay, in this video, I just want to give a couple of directions on how the assignment for seafloor spreading goes. So in the first part of the assignment, you're going to be reading and answering questions, and we've done these before. The second part is where I need to give a couple of directions. So you're going to get to a data table, and it has depth and distance directions. So it's a long table, so these two pieces of information go together, it's one column, and then you go this column, and it's all one big long line. So I'm going to pull the graph up here. Now this graph is plain. I went for you, and I put the depth over here. So it's going to write a D for depth. All right, depth. This is where it's hard with my mouse. So depth is going to be on this side, and I have 0 right around here, and then it's negative numbers down here because we're going below sea level, and then it's positive in this direction. Okay. On the bottom, on this bottom part, this is distance from the U.S. coast. So you're on the east coast of the U.S. here, and you're going towards the Portuguese west coast on this side. Okay, and I'll flip this so I can show you what you're going to see on your graph. So when you graph, you're going to get a graph similar to this. So it'll start at a depth of 0. And it'll come down, and you might have some spikes. We'll talk about what those are. And then at some point, you'll have your mid-Atlantic ridge, and you might have another spike. And then eventually you'll get to back up to a depth of 0. Okay. On these sides where your depth is 0, that's the continental crust. And you might have some stuff that's a little bit above that. That would be the crust as well. This spot where you kind of have a hill with maybe a space in the middle and another hill, that's your mid-Atlantic ridge. Okay, and then you might see some spikes. You might see some spikes, and those spikes, they are, I can't think of the name off the top of my head, so hold on just a sec. We'll get done with drawing and I'll tell you what it is. They are called seamounts. Sorry, seamounts is what they're called. So you're going to draw out your image. Okay. Then once your image is drawn, then on the back side there are some post-graph analysis parts. You're going to go and you're going to label the mid-ocean ridge, any seamounts, those are those spikes, and the continental shelf are the parts where there's the continental crust. Then okay, so then you're also going to draw some arrows representing the direction of seafloor spreading, and you're going to mark where the youngest and the oldest rocks are. You're also going to mark where the highest temperatures would be on the ocean floor. And then this part is kind of complicated. It says, starting with the mid-Atlantic ridge, shade every 4 blocks to represent the normal and reversed magnetic polarities of the seafloor. That's what we talked about this morning. So on your graph, we'll go up to the graph. Pretend it's the other direction. So essentially you've got your ridge, okay, and your shelf. What you're going to do is right in the middle, you're going to count 4 blocks in one direction and 4 blocks in the other direction. And these are going to have a positive polarity because right now north is north on a compass, and you can shade these in. Then you're going to do 4 more blocks, and you can shade them in a different color or you can leave them plain, and these are going to have a negative over them. Okay, and then we're going to do the next 4 blocks, and these are going to be positive. And you'll keep doing that all the way to the edge of your graph. You're just showing that the polarity of the igneous rock, of the igneous rocks that are on that oceanic crust have changed polarity at certain distances. Okay. When you're done with that, you are going to answer these 2 questions. This question might be difficult to answer at first. Okay. You might have to do the packet that says homework first. I'll show you why. But this one you should be able to answer. This is the sheet mine doesn't say exit ticket grade, but up here it says seafloor spreading homework. These are some multiple choice questions for you to answer. And then on this page, it says, yours might say homework on it, but it talks about magnetic evidence. This is going to help you answer that question number 1 if you're stuck. It's going to explain why we have that flipped polarity and how that helps support that we're getting new crust at that mid-oceanic ridge. Okay? And then there's a few more questions to answer. Again, these are questions that will be on your homework quiz on Monday. If there's something that I went over that you're not sure on, please either email me or come talk to me before school, after school, during a GST, or during class, and I can help answer any questions. Please do not come to class on Monday and ask questions. Please come see me before school, after school, or send me an email. Thanks, and I hope that the video helps with some directions. Have a good night.